Hey, family, what's going on? How's everybody doing this Saturday morning? I hope all is well. Listen, I just wanted to stop by and do a quick little video. I wanted to discuss the sentencings that came down in the Ahmaud Arbery case. And y'all remember Ahmaud Arbery was a young black man that was looking at a house in a white community that was under construction. And after going in the house, simply looking around, he came out, he started jogging, and these three white men decided to go vigilante style, and they took the law into their own hands and accosted this young man, which ultimately led to him being shot twice by a shotgun and killed in the middle of the street. All three men were convicted, but all three did not receive the same sentence. The father and son, the Michaels, received life without the possibility of parole plus 20 years. The other young man, I think his name is Brian, the one who recorded the incident, only received life without the possibility of parole. And the question is, and the things that I heard the family and supporters that was out at the courthouse saying was, justice has been served. Justice has been served. And I find that interesting because justice from humanity's mindset is different to different people. Okay, different to different people. For some people, justice has not been served. Those guys didn't get what Ahmaud Arbery got, which is death. And anything less than that is a lack of justice. For others, they feel that justice was served because these men were held accountable to the highest degree that they could be held accountable to. So they feel justice has been served. And I get it. I get it, and I understand the statement. I get it, and I understand the emotions that are surrounding it and what's pushing it behind it. But I want you guys to just think about this, okay? Me personally, I believe that the only person, the only entity that can determine whether or not justice has been served in any situation is God. The Bible says he is a just God. So true justice is going to come from God. Only he knows what's appropriate for any given situation involving someone who has done something they should not have done. Now, was the criminal justice system served? Absolutely yes. Because these individuals went through the system. According to the jury, they were guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And they were sentenced according to what the law allows for sentencing under these circumstances. I thought it also interesting, the judge's explanation supporting his decision on what he did and why he did what he did. He went down, he broke down the testimony of the defendants and used their words in order to show that there was a substantiation for the sentencing that he was about to give. He talked about the fact that even after shooting Ahmaud Arbery and he's laying in the middle of the street, that the Michaels, instead of rendering aid, instead of trying to help him, they turned their backs on him and began to establish their plan on how they was going to respond to this situation to try and get out of what they had just done. It set up a scheme and a plan on how to figure out how to say and how to show that their killing of Ahmaud Arbery was justified. Now, Mr. Bryan didn't get the life without the possibility of parole because he did cooperate with the police department. He did release and give them the video. And I'm going to tell y'all the honest to God truth. Had Bryan not given us the video, I believe this would have went way different. Way different. Because, see, this is what the problem would have created if he had not shown us that video. Ahmaud was dead. he would not have been able to tell his side. So the only side of the story that we would have had would have been those three white men. The Michaels and the Brian guy. That's the only side of the story we would have had. Right? Because dead men don't tell tales. And when there's only one side to be told, there's only one side that you can roll with, a lot of times that's the only side you got. And it is what it is. Now, sometimes, depending on physical evidence, right? Possibility of other witnesses who may come forth and say, no, that ain't the way that happened. But generally, if you and someone else gets into it and it leads to one of you all dying, the only person left to tell the story is the one who is alive. Brian hurt himself and did himself in when he inserted himself into a situation that did not have anything to do with him. Now, if he was going to be nosy, like a lot of people do, you see a situation about to go down and you want to go see what's happening. So you'll get in your car and you'll ride to the scene and you'll stand by and watch and record. People do it every day. But where he got in trouble is when he asked them, y'all got him? Got him for what? What'd he do? When he himself said that he believed that the man had done something, but he didn't know if he had done it or not, and he probably didn't do nothing. But irrespective of believing that you didn't know if he had done anything, there's a great probability that he hadn't done anything. Then what y'all chasing him down in the middle of the street for? Why are you doing that? And then the other incident that caused Brian to get caught up with this life sentence is because he used his vehicle to try and box Ahmaud Arbery in. They used their vehicles to, in effect, kidnap him. When you prevent an individual from being able to leave a space, when they have a legal right to leave, and you prevent them from leaving, that is considered technically kidnapping. Now, when we think of kidnapping, we think of tying your wrist up and tying your ankles up and throwing you in the trunk of a car and taking you somewhere or something of that nature. But no. That's not what that is. So young men and young women, when y'all get into y'all situations and y'all arguing and you fussing and you carrying on and acting a fool in the house, and you got one of you all is saying, I'm leaving, and the other one is grabbing your arm and holding you back and say, you ain't going nowhere, you ain't leaving this house and all this kind of stuff. When you do that, what you technically have done is committed a kidnapping. And if they go and file charges on you, stop acting like this ain't no big deal. When an individual is trying to leave a stressful situation, allow them to leave. Because 9 out of 10 times it keeps something worse from happening. And that's what Mr. Brian did. And that's what got him caught up. They got found guilty of felony murder. What's the felony that was committed? The kidnapping. The preventing him from leaving peacefully. Right? Nothing prevented them from following that young boy from afar, waiting on the police to come, telling the police this is the guy we think is breaking into stuff, and then let the police do their job. Nothing prevented that from happening except you got these 3 white men that have made up their mind they finna get this young black man today. And that's just what it was. Right, wrong, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. That was the simple fact of the situation, and it cost that young black man his life. And it has now cost these 3 white men their freedom. When all you had to do, fine if you think he's breaking it. Listen, I don't have a problem with citizens, right, protecting and patrolling their streets and their communities to make sure everybody is safe and sound. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. That's cute. Community policing is when citizens look out for each other's homes, for each other. That's what we want. That is correct. That's a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with that. However, your job is to look, is to identify, and to call the police. Look, identify, and call the police. Look, I see something going on. I'm going to be able to identify the person that I see, and I'm calling the police. If you can take a picture, take a picture. If you can take a recording, take a recording. But what you're not going to do is go over there and start trying to attack the person like you are the police. That's the one thing we're not doing. We're not going to do that, right? We're not going to take it up on ourselves to act like we are the police. So we finna go over here and we're going to make an arrest. Because listen, the individual that you want to attack does not know you are community policing. Here you come with a shotgun, my ninja. You rolling up on me with a shotgun in your hand, and I got two trucks trying to come at me, trying to prevent me from leaving. Come on, man. Come on, man. That guy don't know you community policing. For all he knows is you coming over there to do him harm. Now, if he has a weapon and he pulls out his weapon and shoot you before you get a chance to shoot him, now you shot and you dead. I was just going over to see who it was. Let the police be the police. We be the citizens. We give the police the information they need in order to do their job. That's what we do. And if we can all do that, you will get more crime solved and you will have less of these incidences that are happening. Okay? Now, for the McMichaels and for Brian, and from their perspective, in their minds, they'll probably say, hey, we didn't do this because we were racist. We didn't do this because we had a problem with black men. We had a problem with seeing this particular man in our community. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to say, okay, I accept that explanation. I accept that reasoning. It doesn't change the fact that you had no right to go and try and physically stop this man who, in your presence, you had not seen him commit not one crime. I'm telling you, if it had been a white boy, you've been wrong. The issue is not color. The issue is your actions. The problem with it is, though, is that you made a decision to take the actions that you took because he was a black man. Now, that's just what it is. And if that's not the truth, then that is the belief of the public. And it's definitely the belief of the African American community in this nation. That had you seen that be a white boy, you would not have taken the same actions that you took. The only reason why you grabbed your shotgun, got in your truck, and got your neighbor friend to come help you is because he was a black man. And just like the prosecution said, and she was right, you all went there to intimidate that young man and to scare that young man. You're going to make that young man do what you wanted him to do. And when you realize that you were not going to be able to intimidate him, scare him, and control him, then you killed him. So did we get justice? I think God will determine what the ultimate justice that the McMichaels and Mr. Bryan will receive. I do believe that the criminal justice system worked its work in this set of facts and circumstances. And the sentences that these individuals received was proper. I do not have a problem with that with Mr. Bryan getting life without the possibility of parole, solely because had he not turned over the video, we would not know the truth of what happened out there that day. And for that and that alone, it, I believe, justifies him not getting life without the possibility of parole. I'd rather have the truth, and everybody who needs to receive a punishment receives it. Right? Than to play hardball and miss anybody receiving punishment for the wrong that was done in this situation. So we want to pray for the Arbery family. Because listen, guys, although these men have been punished, I believe they're justifiable punishments. Ahmaud ain't coming back, though. If you declare this justice or not, it doesn't change the fact that Ahmaud Arbery is not here, and he ain't coming back to be here. So in that respect, does justice mean an eye for an eye? You took a life, so we take yours? We want to pray for the Arbery family, friends and family. Keep them lifted up in prayer and encourage that they will get through this, right? Keeping their mental and emotional level stable. That's what we want to hope and pray for, okay? And listen, guys, it's not easy for the McMichaels family or for Mr. Bryan's family. And I know some of us are saying, who gives a flying flip? Who cares about them? If it hadn't been for their action, none of this would have happened. And I totally 100% agree. But how many of our young black boys and young black daughters, after parents who've raised their children the right way, the best way they know how, right? Raise them up in the admonition of the Lord, right? Fear and admonition of the Lord, right? You've done the best you know how to do, and yet they still go astray. Yes, they deserve to be punished for the wrong that they have done. But it doesn't change the fact that that parent, that sister, that brother, that favorite friend, that favorite cousin of theirs is not hurting and not upset and not, whatever, because of what they're having to experience by losing their loved one or their friend, right? And I'm going to tell you something else. What is my hope that this conviction does? Trump set off something in this nation. He did. And a lot of people responded based off of his influence. They responded negatively. And now they're receiving a lot of harsh punishments behind it. It is my hope that these Trumpsters will come to a place of understanding. No matter how much you love him, your love for Trump does not give you the justification to go out and kick up all kinds of unnecessary hell and trouble for other citizens in this country just because you love Trump. Just because you love Trump. I don't have no problem with what he did with the tax code. If you are a business owner, you don't have no problem either. But all this other stuff, because I can honestly say, hey, the revamping of the tax code was a good thing, especially for business owners. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But it doesn't mean that all this other foolishness, all this other havoc that he has stirred up in this country, this hatred that he has stirred up in this country, makes it justifiable to do so. It does not. One good deed does not destroy 100 bad deeds that you have done. You're going to give an account for it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's do our best to do more good. Since we're going to have to reap what we sow, let's do more good. Well, that's all I got. I just wanted to come on and briefly address that issue, talk about it a little bit, and say this. Whether you feel as though justice has been served or not, I do believe the proper punishment for the actions of these young men, old men, was justified and supported by the evidence that came out during the trial. All right, guys, y'all have a good Saturday, okay? I'm getting ready to go into a sorority meeting, and then after that, I got to go get ready for our New Year's parade and fireworks show that's going on here in the great city of Rosedale, baby. We got it going on. We always got something happening over here, man. All right, guys, y'all pray for us that our parade and fireworks show go off without a hitch and we have a good time, okay? All right. God bless everybody, and I'll see y'all next time. Listen, I'm going to do a live. I'm just uploading a video on a few things that I want to talk about and address and have y'all think about. But we got our live coming on. I'm going to do a live on Ariana Curry. I'm still going to do the live on the curious case of Julius Jones. I think that is a That's going to be an in-depth discussion that I'm going to include, I think, my Facebook page followers on that as well, because I think that is an issue and a topic that really needs to be addressed and discussed in the African-American community as it relates to our young men thinking it's okay to hang out with and group up with bad influences as though it won't rub off on you. It won't rub off on you. And so we're going to talk about it. Would y'all do me a favor, please? As you come in and you go out, would you hit the like button? Would you hit the share button? Y'all know YouTube algorithms only work now if people are giving you likes. So I'm out here asking for them, okay? I appreciate you guys so much. Y'all know I love you. And as I always say, to the extent this channel is a success, it is all because of you all. I appreciate the support. I appreciate my loyal subscribers who have been here. If you're new to the channel, please, please, please hit the subscribe button. I sure would appreciate it so much. And y'all hit the share button so we let other people know kind of what we discuss, what we got going on, because I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your opinion. Whether you agree with me or disagree, drop down in the comments section and let me know what you think, especially if you disagree and why. Like I say, this is a channel where I give my opinion. We talk about things that's going on in the news and things that may go on with me personally, experiences and things that I've had. But I come here to give you my opinion, wanting to provoke us to think about things a little clearer if we can, that will help us make better choices and decisions for our lives. So at any point in time you want to disagree with me, get down in it, man. Tell me, man, T, I don't agree with that. Okay, cool. Tell me why. Let's just be respectful, right? We can disagree and still be respectful in our disagreement. So let's do that. Let's enjoy our day. I'm praying for you. I love you guys so very, very much. God bless you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.